Base is under attack.
Alright, welcome to every Terran unit explained. This is Starcraft 2. My name is Promethium, and we are under attack. Or we were anyway. I think we lived. Alright, here we go. Every Terran unit explained, every building, every ability. Let's start with the Barracks. Barracks makes Marines, Reapers, Marauders, and Ghosts. The first unit you're usually going to build out of there is a Reaper. They're good for scouting and can jump up and down cliffs. And they've got this neat little grenade. They only shoot ground-to-ground units, but they're so fast and are great for scouting. Let's throw them away and move on to Marines. Marines are kind of the backbone for Terran firepower. They shoot air and ground. They have Stimpack, which makes them move quickly and shoot quickly, but takes away 10 health from their hit points. They are usually paired with Medevacs so that they can be healed and moved around the map. We'll get to Medevacs later. But yeah, here is your Marines. They're usually paired with Marauders. Marauders only shoot ground. They are armored, and they do bonus damage to armored. So things like tanks and buildings and many other units. Yeah, 3 Marauders can take that quickly. Pretty good. We are in a custom game with the very easy AI, so we are going to get attacked a little bit here. Let's just repair those. And that's just so that we have something to shoot at here. The very easy AI. Alright, Reapers, Marines, Marauders, and then you have Ghosts. You do need the Ghost Academy to make Ghosts out of the Barracks with the Tech Lab attached to it. But here's Ghosts. They can launch nukes, and they can snipe units, which does 130 damage, and then also they can cloak. Boom. Probably should have shot some enemy units with it, but not bad. Let's go see if we can find some units to snipe. Ooh, there's somebody. Come back. Alright. And then we're going to move on to factory units. I think he knows I'm here. Come here. I need to snipe you.
Sounds like a plan.
Alright, we just sniped the Overlord. We could snipe the Ultralisk, but snipe gets disrupted if the Ghost gets attacked. So it is actually kind of a hard ability to use when it's just Ghosts alone. If it's with Marines and Marauders, the Ghost is going to be in the back and he can snipe from a safe distance. Those are your Barracks units. Barracks can either have a reactor attached to it or a tech lab. A reactor will allow you to build 2 Marines at a time or 2 Reapers at a time. A tech lab will allow you to build 1 Marauder at a time, or 1 Ghost at a time, or 1 Reaper and 1 Marine. The Tech Lab does have the upgrades for Combat Shields, Stimpack, and Marauder Concussive Shells. Does he get... Wow, you can't even concuss your own units. I didn't know that. Okay, that's Barracks units. Let's move on to factory units. Here's the factory. Same thing with the factory. Here's a reactor and a Tech Lab. The upgrades for factory units are in the factory Tech Lab. Those upgrades are Blue Flame, Cyclone, Magfield Accelerator, Smart Servos, which allows a couple units to transform quicker, and then you also have Widowmine Drilling Claws, allowing them to burrow faster and shoot faster, and unburrow faster. So those are your Tech Lab factory upgrades. In the factory you can build the Hellion, Widowmine, Cyclone, Tank, Hellbat, and Thor. Starting with the Hellion, just got like a little dune buggy flamethrower thing. They do have the blue flame upgrade right now, which increases their damage versus light, boosts it up to 19. Pretty good against Zerglings. Let's go send them across the map and do some damage. Hellbats can change into Hellions and the other way around, but they do significantly more damage. They're doing 30 damage now versus light. Great. Absolutely great. Here. There's a target. Get him! Yeah, Hellbats and Hellions. There you go. Next up, we got the Widow Mines. Let's go use these guys. They're great. We can even put them in a medevac too.
Where's the emergency? In the pipe. Bye-bye.
Let's go.
Now what? Waiting on you. Well, hallelujah. Acknowledged.
Alright, so the Widow Mines burrow and do a significant amount of damage. They do splash damage. They're great against Zerglings and Marines and Zealots. Those were Widow Mines. Up next we got Cyclones. Cyclones can do some pretty good damage. Cyclones do shoot air and ground. And they have a basic ability and then a lock-on ability. They will automatically lock onto the first unit they see and be able to shoot while they're moving. So he's locked on and shoot while moving. That was a pretty good demonstration of lock-on, actually. Let's see if we can get some more units here.
Minerals have up and gone.
Moving into position. Show me who you want to die. I get you.
He doesn't even have a Zergling speed yet. Alright, that's Cyclones. Next we've got Siege Tanks. Siege Tanks are ground-to-ground, long-range, heavy firepower units. When they're not in siege mode, they only do 15 damage and 25 damage to armored, but when they are sieged, they do 40 damage and 70 damage to armored. That is a significant increase. If you upgrade their attack in the armory, they actually do 85 damage versus armored. I didn't do any upgrades out of the armory and eBay yet. Just kind of have their base damage here shown so far. Yeah, Siege Tanks. I think we can just show them like that. You can send those guys out. Alright, next up in the factory, we can just jump to Thors. Here's your Thors. Thors are quite expensive. They've got 400 hit points. They shoot up and they shoot down. And for their air attack, they actually have two different modes. They've got a high impact payload mode, and they have an explosive payload mode. Their default is the explosive payload mode, which does a little bit of splash damage, so this is really good against Mutalisks and maybe Phoenix, but usually you want them in high impact payload mode against Vikings and Liberators and Broodlords and Carriers and Void Rays. They just do a lot of damage and shoot a little bit faster when they're in high impact mode. Yeah. Let's go find something to kill with the Thors here. May take a second, but they'll get there. But that is the factory units. All the factory units get their upgrades from the armory right here. And yeah. Why is he running away? I don't get it. Strange. It is the very easy AI, so. Come here, Thor. We need something to shoot. Alright, so this one's going to be in... Whatever. Let's move on. Alright, we're going to move on to the Starport. Starport has all the air units. Here's Vikings. Vikings are an air-to-air unit. They've got really good range and actually decent damage. 14 versus armored. And they can actually land. And they do bonus damage versus mechanical units when they're landed. Kind of crazy.
Let's get into the fight. Transformation systems primed. Agreed.
But yeah, Vikings. Cool. Alright, medevacs. Medevacs
Talk to me.
are kind of the bread and butter for any biological unit composition. That's Marines, Marauders, Ghosts, I guess. Because you can load up a bunch of units in there and then just get them across the map very quickly. And then they also heal biological units.
Life flight's here.
Hitting D, click, and they drop all the units out.
Out with it.
Medevacs.
Now
So they do heal 4 life per 1 energy, and they've got 200 energy. They heal
where's
rather
the
quickly.
emergency?
Come again.
Waiting on
And they have a boost function.
you. Acknowledged.
Makes them fly a little bit faster for a little while,
On
just
my way.
to get in or out of danger
In the pie.
quickly.
5x5.
Getting into danger. There you go. Alright, next up from the Starport, we have Liberators.
How can we help? Flight
Liberators in this mode shoot air to air, but then they have a siege mode, kind of like the siege tank, and they shoot air to ground. And they do 75 damage to ground units from this mode. But they become immobile and they can only shoot within this range.
Got freedom. Initiating.
Put those over there. Ravens. Ravens are the spellcasters from the Starport. They have auto turrets. They have anti-armor missile, which I don't think I can target my own units with anti-armor missile.
Order acknowledged.
Maybe I can. I can.
Got a target in mind.
Anti-armor missile gives anything in that splash orange color -2 armor or -2 armor. So, yeah,
State your request.
good to do that before a fight. And then they can also disable
Job confirmed.
mechanical and psionic units.
Yes, sir.
Here's your liberators again.
We read you.
That was great. That was a great demonstration of
Standing in.
3 liberators doing a great job here. All right, let's disable a queen over here. You can disable any mechanical and psionic unit. Bye.
Survey awaiting orders.
Boom. And auto turrets are quite powerful themselves. They also are a detector, so they can detect these creep tumors, which are usually underground sunken things, or they can detect Dark Templar, cloaked banshees, cloaked ghosts, burrowed
Gonna need a tad bit more.
Zerg units. Almost always good to have a couple
Got
ravens
freedom.
in your army. Alright, speaking of cloaked units, let's go to the Banshee. Here's the Banshee, an air-to-ground unit that can cloak. They do a significant amount of damage. They actually do 24 damage. It says 12, but there's 2 attacks. You can actually see 2 missiles shooting out, right? So it's actually 24 damage per shot there. And then, of course, they can cloak. Their cloaking is energy-based, and it costs 25 energy to activate cloak. So if you just go cloak, decloak, cloak, decloak,
Not
you
enough
can just
energy.
instantly burn all their energy. Banshees work well in pairs because then they can one-shot workers. So keep them close together and then attack a worker. But if they're just one Banshee, it takes some time to kill some workers. But
Right. No
yep,
problem.
their really only downfall is they're a little bit weak, don't have a lot of hit points, and obviously any air-to-air unit instantly hard counters them, like a Viking or a Phoenix or a Mutalisk. So, but I do like Banshees. Surprise Banshees are great. They do have a speed upgrade, which you can research here, and you do have to research Cloak. You have to research Cloak and speed at the Starport's Tech Lab. Alright, final unit in the Starport is the Battlecruiser. You do need a fusion core to build a Battlecruiser, and you can only build one at a time from a Tech Lab Starport.
What is it?
550 hit points. They have Yamato Cannon, which does 240 damage. It almost one-shots everything. I think it 2-shots Thors and 2-shots Ultralisks, but pretty good. Yeah. Yamato Cannon is pretty good. They also can warp across the map without vision anytime they want.
Well,
And it's one of the few units that can shoot while it's moving. So you almost always want to keep them moving and heading into danger or looking for a more valuable target, because they're always shooting something. They're always getting some value done. A really early battlecruiser killing workers is an excellent strategy. And then you can tactical jump home and get them repaired. You should almost never lose your battlecruisers as long as your tactical jump is being used intelligently. And we'll send those back home. Okay, I feel like we've went through most of the units. That was Barracks, Factory, and Starport. Let's see. And now we've got the Engineering Bay. This is where you're going to upgrade your infantry weapons. Here's +1 weapons and then +1 armor for infantry. Building the Engineering Bay also allows you to build missile turrets. Missile turrets are static defense that shoot air and are also detection. So it's almost always good to have one of these in each of your mineral lines, which I don't. I've got a couple here. To protect yourself from Dark Templar and Cloaked Banshees and other things. I do like to put one missile turret out front against Protoss to kill observers and deny their scouting. Another thing that the eBay unlocks is the ability to make planetary fortresses. You can turn your command center into a self-defending base here with the Engineering Bay, and then for 150 minerals and 150 gas, turn it into a planetary fortress that does 40 damage plus splash damage to ground units. It only shoots ground to ground, so you need those missile turrets nearby as well. But this will keep your exterior bases safe. Generally, your 4th base and onward, you want to make a planetary fortress, but you usually want your command center to be an orbital command, which gives you the ability to drop mules. Mules can be used to mine or repair, and in their life, they mine about 225 minerals. Also, in orbital commands, you have the ability to drop down supply. This will give you +8 supply, which is your denominator here in this up there. And it'll also instantly heal any damaged supply depot. How neat is that? Boop, boop, boop.
Upgrade complete.
It also adds 100 hit points to it, so if you want to just beef up your wall, go ahead. The last ability on the orbital command is the ability to scan anywhere in the map. This will reveal any cloaked or burrowed unit and lasts for, 11 seconds or so? 9 seconds. Gives you temporary vision. This is important for scanning up a ramp to keep high ground vision, or to cloak any burrowed or cloaked units. Here's the armory again. This is where you research weapons for your ground units out of your factory, and also your air unit attack from your starports. Here is a bunker. A normal bunker you can only put 4 Marines in, but this is an upgraded bunker. I can put, is it 6 or 8? Wow. There is an upgrade at the engineering bay. Building armor and neo steel frame that allows you to put extra units into the bunker, as well as the command centers and planetary fortresses. Yes, you can put units into your planetary fortress. Keep them safe. You cannot put SCVs into orbital commands. There's just too much equipment for the scanning and
Upgrade is done.
mules and supply drops. You can't fit any SCVs in there, I guess. Alright, have I forgotten anything? Probably, but you'll figure it out.
You're gonna need a tad bit more.
Alright, I'm going to be making a couple more low league lessons like this in the future. So let me know what league you are and what tips you are looking forward to. We're going to make 2026 a Starcraft content making year, because it is still a fun game. Alright, this is Terran. Every unit explained. See ya.